Yo, how's everyone doing today? Welcome to Towards the Storm. My name's Thomas Gaffney. I'm your host, and this is where we talk about business, Bitcoin, and bullshit. Today, I am so excited. I have an absolutely incredible guest. This is going to be really cool. I've been wanting to meet him for a while. He's an absolute Radix legend. He needs no introduction whatsoever. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Mr. Florian Pieper, founder of OCISwap, Radix OG. He's been here forever. How's it going, man? How's it going? It's a pleasure to have you on the show.
It's awesome. Great to be here. And I'm really looking forward to our discussion. I'm really fan of your show. So let's get it started.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
So Florian, tell me a little bit about yourself. Like what you doing? Like who is Florian? What's your MO? What gets you out of bed in the morning?
Currently I'm the co-founder of OCISwap, and I'm a software developer and study computer science. And I'm basically a member of the Radix community. And I am since a while in crypto, since 2017. And since 2 years, I'm part of the Radix community. And over time, we decided that we want to launch our own project on Radix, because you all know it is the place to be for a new project.
Yes.
And that's why we launched OCISwap in last November.
Okay. So what is OCISwap exactly? It's a DEX. Right now I see it's got like a lowercase c with the capital DEX. What's that mean?
OCISwap is a decentralized exchange.
Okay.
Starting to be decentralized with Babylon. That's the smart contract release of Radix. And right now we have a centralized version running, which acts and behaves like a decentralized exchange with an AMM pool.
Okay.
But the wallet and the pools itself are centralized in one wallet, because there are no smart contracts yet. And but for a user, it behaves like a normal DEX would. So we also have a wallet integration, and the users having their tokens in their own wallet, and they're just sending them to us to swap, basically.
That's cool. So it's essentially like a hybrid model of like a Web 2 solution to create a Web 3 solution, kind of. That's kind of what I've kind of seen.
Yeah, exactly. Basically, we decentralized as much as possible, so the users are keeping their funds in their wallets, and we only centralize what we need to centralize. Basically, that we have a trading engine which reads the transactions coming in on a specific pool wallet, and then sends out the token.
So what's that? A training engine? You said that? What was that?
Sorry, a trading engine. Sorry.
Oh, okay. So what does that do exactly? What's that do exactly?
It's basically a trading bot,
okay,
which owns a wallet. And if someone sends some tokens to a specific wallet, it calculates how the prices change, like it would on a DEX.
Okay.
And then it sends out the token. So basically what we did, we implemented a Uniswap version 2 style automated market maker pool. And this is running on a computer, basically on the server of us. And people can just send tokens to that wallet, and then the bot acts on incoming transactions. For example, if you are sending 20 XRD to that wallet, you're getting back maybe 10 OC or something like that.
Yeah, that's cool though. So that's really cool.
So the C in CDEX stands for centralized, because right now we don't have smart contracts. So that's as good as we could build it, basically. But of course, with Babylon coming, we want to be as centralized as possible, having smart contracts.
Yeah, that's what's so cool though, right? So that's one of the interesting things that I have found about Radix, right? So I'm also a project founder on Radix, right? And I make NFTs, right? But there's no smart contracts on Radix right now, right? So it's like it's hard to have that integration. So you have to find these creative like Web 2 solutions that integrate to kind of like a Web 3 hybrid model, right? And so one thing I was really interested in talking to you about was AlphaNet, right? So Radix Network is going to be launching AlphaNet soon, right? In October? Is it October?
Should be end of September, I think.
End of September? All right,
so very, very soon.
Very soon. That's very soon. And so we're going to get to look underneath the hood of all the Radix stuff here in just a minute, right?
Yeah.
Are you excited?
Yeah, it's really cool, and I'm really looking forward what we can build when on AlphaNet, because now we have the public test environment with for crypto, but not yet the wallet and stuff like that. But wallets are coming. The real wallets for Babylon are coming with BetaNet. So so the AlphaNet isn't that full release, basically.
Okay. So break that down. How is that going to work? Because as from someone I'm very interested in learning more. I'm not a developer, not a coder. I'm a lawyer and a finance type guy, and I understand how this works, but like not really. You know what I mean? So can you kind of break that down real quick? Like what should people be expecting for this AlphaNet launch?
Basically, it will be a first running version of the network, but not everything smoothed out, basically.
Okay.
So the final scope for Babylon will be more present in the Babylon BetaNet, which is coming end of the year. So the AlphaNet is kind of a first step towards the BetaNet. But of course, it allows developers to start using the network more, basically.
The network more? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So that's good, right? That's a good thing, because I have been hearing the word Babylon, right, for
ages.
Yeah. Wait for Babylon. Wait for Babylon. Babylon Moon. Babylon Moon. Oh, Siri's trying to tell me what Babylon is. But I've been hearing it for ages, right? So I'm really excited for it, and I think the people are too. And so a lot of people are hearing, oh, AlphaNet, and they don't really understand. They're like, okay, whatever, but their eyes are still fixed on Q5 2022, right?
Yeah. I mean, for developers, AlphaNet will be a first step in the direction towards Babylon. But to really integrate the wallet and stuff like that will be possible with the BetaNet end of the year. So that's the point in time where everything comes together, basically, and you can really finalize or start to build on the final platform.
Okay. So is that what you said, integrate it into the wallet? What does that mean exactly?
Yeah, it means that right now Babylon right now on Olympia there is no browser wallet, so so the community built a Zeus wallet, which works now in a browser. And what I mean with integrating is that if you're building a dApp, your front end basically mainly interacts with your browser wallet,
Yeah.
and there are interfaces which you need to use basically, and these interfaces will change from AlphaNet basically to Babylon a bit.
Okay.
So we won't have the final browser wallet with the final API for AlphaNet basically.
So is Radix building an actual web browser wallet that we're going to be able to use?
Yes, as far
Okay.
as I know, with Babylon we will have a mobile wallet, a desktop wallet, and a browser wallet. So
That's what's up. That's what I like to
yeah,
hear. You know
yeah,
what I mean? You know what I mean? That's what's up. You know, that's really cool because right now we're using, so I'm using this Zeus wallet.
exactly.
You can use Zeus on OCISwap, right?
Exactly, yeah. Zeus wallet basically is a Chrome or Firefox browser plugin,
Uh-huh.
and it connects to the current Olympia Radix, and it has similar functionality than the current Radix desktop wallet, but the big difference is that you can interact with it from a website. So you can
Okay.
build a website and you can then call the browser wallet and say, okay, I want to send this transaction to this wallet with 100 OC and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And
I've used it
yeah,
several times. I've used it several
yeah,
times. It works really
it's
good.
super smooth. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's really honestly, I was thoroughly impressed. I was like, okay, so I can because like I have I just got another deposit right now. I must have gotten some kind of transaction. But
yeah,
so honestly, so I have it set up to my desktop browser and I'm logged into my Zeus wallet right now, right?
yeah,
And so
exactly.
I now get like these little pop-up things anytime I get a deposit into my wallet or like the buff wallet, right? So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think someone bought a buff, might have just been right now, and it popped up with a deposit in my thing. And so I've been using it and I think this thing is awesome, right? But some people in the community have questioned what's the security like for it? Like, who's the company behind Zeus? Like, and is like someone who can speak. I have no idea about any of
yeah,
this. All I see is the user stuff. I'm like, oh, this is
yeah.
great. Send my tokens. You know what I mean? But like, is it secure? Like, is this something that people should be using? How is that?
Um, well, first of all, you can use the Zeus wallet with your ledger, so you can connect the hardware ledger to it.
Yeah.
And in this case, your private keys are always on your ledger, and so it's safe in that sense. In general, if you have a hardware ledger, there's still one attack vector, and that's basically that if your browser wallet or desktop wallet is hijacked for whatever reason, it's possible that your wallet sends a wrong transaction to your ledger, and then you sign the wrong transaction. For example, instead of sending your mom some tokens, you would send the tokens to me then.
Oh, okay.
But you always see the address on your ledger display, so
Okay.
you could check whether the addresses match basically.
Okay.
And if they match, you are basically safe.
Okay.
So but that's similar to any other network, like on Ethereum with MetaMask. And if you connect your hardware ledger to it, if MetaMask in your browser gets hacked for whatever reason, the attacker could send you a wrong transaction to your ledger. And if you don't check the exact transaction, it would be possible to send a wrong transaction. However, that is better on Radix because you see the actual receivers, and on Ethereum you often only see the the receiver of you often only see the smart contract address, and you need to blindly sign it, so you don't have that much control over it.
Okay, so that's interesting. So basically, what you're saying is your seed phrase is safe. It's on the ledger.
If you're using a hardware ledger.
Okay, so if you're using a hardware ledger, okay.
Yes, exactly. If you're using a software key inside your wallet, it's basically the same security like any other software wallet too.
Like MetaMask?
Yeah, like MetaMask.
Okay, so if people are using MetaMask, it's similar security and comparable, right?
Yeah, the only difference is that the company behind MetaMask is much bigger, of course.
Sure.
And they have more trust in general.
Yeah.
But from a technical standpoint, it's basically the same risk.
That sounds great.
And for Zeus, it's basically a team of a few developers who are building it, so it's a small team. But I think they did a really great job and achieved a lot.
Okay.
And while working with them, because we were the first who launched the browser integration with dApps, basically,
sure,
on a website. And while developing that, we found some minor bugs or connection issues, because we were basically the first who integrated it and found all the edge cases which you need to test somehow, basically.
Yeah, so you were the AlphaNet test group,
right? Yeah, we were the pioneers integrating browser wallets on Radix. Yeah,
that's cool though. You know what I mean? That's really cool, because like and I think there's a little bit of a stigma right now about this, and so some people are hesitant to use this Zeus wallet. You know why? Because remember Serbi Mask?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, remember that was around? Remember they were trying to make a web browser or whatever, and they like kind of disappeared.
They didn't want to make a web browser, but they launched SerbiMask, a similar extension like Zeus Wallet.
Okay.
However, originally, the released version of SerbiMask was developed by James, which was then acquired by the Serbi team.
Oh, okay.
And the Serbi team never released an update to that wallet. So, but in the end, I think it's the same like for any other software wallet. There's always some risk, because because you need to trust your software wallet developer in some way, because you can always with one update, for example, send the seed phrase to somewhere else if you want to attack it. If you know what you do, it's basically one line of code to send the seed phrase to my email address or to some website.
Oh, geez. So that's not good. So when you said this,
yeah, but that's
yeah. Go ahead.
Yep. But that's kind of an intrinsic or fundamental security issue with software wallets in general. Sure. So there's nothing really what Zeus could do technically to avoid that. It's the same with MetaMask or the Radix desktop wallets, so there's nothing they can do about it.
Oh wow.
The only thing to protect against that is basically from a legal standpoint, if you have a bigger company or stuff like that.
Okay, that makes sense.
But from a technical point, there's nothing
bigger platform. Okay.
Yeah, and because you can just roll out a wallet update and just send the seed phrase to to anywhere basically.
Oh wow, that's good.
But that's the same with MetaMask. So if MetaMask gets infiltrated,
Yeah,
they could just add one line of code and send a seed phrase to somewhere
everyone.
else,
Oh wow.
everywhere. So especially to me, of course.
Especially to you.
Yeah.
So you get all the
Yeah.
you get Vitalik's seed phrase. Yes.
Yeah.
Got it. But that's
Yeah,
great.
but so in the end, with software wallets, it's about trust, and also the Zeus wallet is open source, so you could build it yourself if you want to.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but it's always you basically always have a chain of security because someone needs to build it. If you don't want to build it yourself,
Yeah.
that someone needs to publish it in the Google Store. And at each step, someone could intercept basically if
Sure.
you have no full chain of security.
Yeah, no, that's great. That makes sense. I'm glad you're actually here to sit down and talk about this because people, because I'm the kind of person, I'm kind of a pioneer myself. Like, I'm like, okay, I'll try out Zeus. I don't care. I want to just go try it out. Like, I don't understand it, but because these people are out here building this thing, and I use MetaMask, or used to use MetaMask. I don't have actually any Ethereum anymore. I'm fully integrated into Radix, full head on. But I used to use MetaMask all the time, and I used to buy NFTs on Ethereum with MetaMask, make transactions with MetaMask, and so I was like, this is pretty much the same. It feels the same. It kind of works the same, and so I'm just going to use it. I trust these people who are trying to build this Radix protocol, and I want to test this thing out. And so there were a lot of questions in the community about whether or not Zeus was safe, whether we should use it or we're not. And so you kind of put my fears to bed. I trust in you guys. And I understand that. So that's really cool. Like it's kind of amazing to really understand what goes into it and how it works. So thanks for explaining that.
Yeah, and the team did a very great job on it, and also really helped and worked together with us to fix the problems with the interface basically. So because while we developed it, we found some issues and bugs, and they fixed it very quickly so that we could launch OCISwap and have no issues with the Zeus wallet. For example, in the beginning there were quite some connection issues. So after a few minutes, the connection of the ledger was of the wallet was lost, and then you would need to reload the OCISwap page, and when everything works again. And we sent the bug to them, and they fixed it. And with the new Zeus wallet, it was working fine without any issues anymore.
I like it.
So they were really working hard on that and putting a lot of effort to make it as smooth as possible. And the point is also, if you want to attack such a wallet, the problem is that you are then obviously burned in the community. So after any hint in this direction occurs, Zeus is basically dead. So if they want to continue, it is a very high incentive to take care of security and not mess it with it.
Oh, I agree. I completely agree. And so I back them 100%. You know what I mean? Like, this is amazing. I love seeing this, right? Because like we were talking earlier, like I've been in Radix since September of last year. Right. And so and ever since that day, I've just been hearing about Babylon and smart contracts, right? And you're on this network with this desktop wallet that's like, wow, this is interesting. There's not a lot here, but it seems pretty cool.
It's already working.
Yeah, but it works. It kind of works though. You know, it's like, hey, so what's going on? I'm like, wait, I don't have a mobile wallet? What? I can't send this on my phone. I was like, I'll be out, and people, I do giveaways a lot, and I'll just give away like random NFTs on Radix. And people will be like, oh, what's going on? Like, can I get my NFT? And like, yeah, I'm out right now. I need to go home to get to my desktop so I can send it to you. You know what I mean? So, but now it's slowly, like this thing is slowly happening, right? And you've been a huge player in this ecosystem growth. What so I'm writing a paper right now called the Digital Nation, right? And so I genuinely believe these layer one protocols like Radix, like Solana, like Ethereum, like Avalanche, ICP, whatever, name whatever your favorite layer one is, right? There is this huge push though that people are choosing their own ecosystems that they want to be a part of in their own community, and they're growing an ecosystem within a community, within the distributed ledger, within the blockchain, whatever they're using, to make this decentralized finance, this DeFi concept work. And you have been an integral part, and it's been incredible to watch the Radix wallet just have the main desktop Olympic wallet that everyone knows. Everyone knows what that looks like.
Yeah.
Just picture that, right? I pull it up. Here's the little blue thing, the little thing in the columns, my little balance, you know what I mean? And so it's so incredible to see this thing grow, and now you can trade on a CDEX, right? And so it's been incredible. And so one thing I wanted to ask you, what is your favorite thing you've been working on that you kind of other than OCISwap, I know that, but that you're really excited to see with Radix in general and OCISwap as a whole?
Well, first of all, I think it's really amazing that we see so much people building on Radix way before Babylon is released, because you don't see that often on other chains. I was, for example, I was part of the Fusion communities in the beginning, or for 2 years ago for a few months.
Oh wow!
And there wasn't much building there. They just had smart contracts, but no one built dApps for it.
Wow.
So it was an Ethereum fork, and basically nothing happened until the founder of the blockchain stepped in and started to launch a DEX and stuff like that. And I think it's really amazing that we already see building on Radix before, way before Babylon, with all limited possibilities right now. And a part of it why that works is because Radix supports messages in transaction.
Okay.
And this opens a huge amount of possibilities, because it allows basically to give wallets commands, so that trading bots or bots in general can understand what you want to do with that token.
Yeah.
For example, we have, for example, you could have a message with swap or your target token. For example, on OCISwap, you need to say what token you want to get, and you need to say, or you can say how much tokens you want to get at least, and you can encode very much in these messages basically. So this is one factor why we already see so much building, and I think we will see much more building with Babylon, because if I'm honest, the point is that the centralized solutions are actually much harder to develop than the actual decentralized versions for Babylon. It's not very intuitive maybe, but because it would be harder on Ethereum maybe. But with crypto, it's much easier to build with crypto and not using a centralized version, because the problem is you need to have a lot of bookkeeping and network implementations, and you need to read safely from the ledger. You need to send transactions safely, and you have a lot of moving pieces which simply disappear if you are using crypto. So the code. So if we want to deploy our current CDEX on Scripto, we would have less code basically. So it's a lot of effort to implement dApps via a centralized trading bot.
Yeah.
And especially in a way that is safe and doesn't lead to inconsistencies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Back to your question, what I really think is cool is that we already see aggregators building on Radix. I like these. And also, I want to point out, for example, DeFi-Bets, which are building a prediction market. And also Impala, which are building a launchpad. So we have quite a diverse set of applications already building. And I also know of a few others already, which are building games on Radix, like Farbo. And also we will see a few more real-world focused dApps, which are already building and are really serious about. So I'm really excited how this all comes together on Babylon, basically.
That's really cool. I'm excited for it too. It's funny, there's a lot to decompress what you just said there. You just laid a knowledge bomb on me. No. I was fun. I was sitting there, I'm like, tell me more, please. You know what I mean? Like, I want to know, because honest to God, it's for everything you're saying, right? So me as a project founder, right? So you were talking about the reason why people are allowed to build on Radix, right? Is because it has messages. So my developer is in Ryan, right? So he builds a database, right, where we collect all of our NFT data in the wallets that own them, and they transact with the Buff wallet, right, through messages, right? And so they would encode the randomized message within the wallet, right, so that they can send a token and then they get a buff, right? Or we have an automated trading platform on our website where you put in a code that is related to a specific buff in the database, right? And you send that code so it can interact with the database on the back end through the Radix wallet, because Ryan's script that he wrote can read it and make sure that you have the automated trade from, I'm sending this XRD, which is say 700 XRD for buff number XYZW25N, which is their code number, which is buff number 10. And then they get that buff and it comes back, right? So you're basically saying, like, that's a lot of work. I've been talking with Ryan. And he's like, this is a lot of work coding all this extra stuff. But if you had it on Babylon, Scripto, it's way easier. You can just get it.
Yes, it would be much easier, because you don't need all that boilerplate and connection code and modules. And so you would really simply write a smart contract which accepts, for example, XRD or OC, of course. And it would then send out your NFT if you pay enough.
Sure.
And you don't, and all the network handling is abstracted away and implemented by the Radix engine itself, because you're then interacting with the wallet directly, which then talks to the network and can call your smart contract directly. And the key point here is that your smart contract doesn't need to manage transactions anymore, or keys, or private keys. Because right now each smart contract, basically a centralized one, needs to have its own private keys. It needs to manage them. It needs to receive transactions. in a safe way. It needs
Yeah.
to send them out again. So that's a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
And especially if you are required that nothing goes wrong, basically. Because if for example you would miss a transaction out of your transaction stream, you would have an inconsistent state. So you need to be very careful in implementing such a centralized service.
Oh, I agree. It's crazy. That's the
Yeah.
and that's what something that we've had to see. You know what I mean? It hasn't been perfect for us, like we've been up and down all around. But it has been incredibly interesting. And so because Ryan explains things to me, right? About a lot of this stuff. And so I just think it's super cool to talk to someone like you who has built this absolute ridiculous trading platform where I can actually now go. Like we saw this happen. It's crazy because I was sitting here hearing about, okay, OCISwap, waiting, OCISwap, come on, let's go.
Yeah.
And you guys put it out there, and I typed my seed phrase into the Zeus wallet, and I connected it up, and I hopped on there, and I put in 100 XRD, and I got like 65 OCISwap, OC coins back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it just worked. And it was just so incredible to watch and hearing like the back end of how it actually goes down. Because as a project founder with a lot of other people who are trying to build, they want to build on this network, and they're that's the coolest thing is that we are actually, there's so many people. It's like the best news ever to hear that there are so many people out there building these really cool projects. That is harder to build now, and it will now be easier to build once Babylon's actually live. And there's already this massive involvement.
Yeah.
Like you said, like the aggregator trading. It's like, what is it, DSOR or something? What is it? Just
DSOR and Astrolescent. Yeah.
and Astral. Yeah. And so have you had any involvement with them? Because I know that, so I used DSOR one time recently. I just found this like 3 days ago, and I was like, oh, okay, let me try something. I bought some Bobby coins, some Bobby coins on it.
Yeah.
Because it trades a couple different things, right? So, and Bobby's a good friend of mine, Bobby Flay. He's a good guy. I love him. So I was trying to test it out, and so I bought some Bobby coins, and it like sent me all these different things. And I was like, wow, this is interesting because it checks the prices on OCSwap, it checks the prices on Caviar Swap, right? And then it somehow aggregates it together, right? That's basically the premise of it. And so, did you have any involvement with getting that through? Because how do they pull it through? Like, how does that work exactly?
Yes, we are in contact regarding the implementation details, and just recently I provided them with a little bit better data because right now we are caching or aggregations of volume and prices and everything for 1 minute. So we have a 1 minute delay or cache time basically.
Okay.
But I now provided I provided a DSOR with an real-time state of the pool, because just the pool state is very cheap to provide. It's more like that full aggregation is more expensive to process and calculate. So it was easy to just provide them with the up-to-date information, so they can call it every few seconds or something like that. So
and so Astrolescent, that is a
yeah,
that's another one. Which project is that? Do you have any involvement with them as well, or
yes, sure. We are in contact because they needed to know how the API works and stuff like that. For example, because we have an API which serves our front end, and which is now also used by a few other people, like arbitrage bots, which we have already a few.
Yeah,
they also wanted access to the API. It is the API is basically public, but not fully documented yet, because it will change slightly in the future. But if you are a developer, you can just figure it out yourself, because it's just in the code. You just need to make one request on OCISwap, and you see what's sent to the server. And with Astro, we also are in contact and also added some features for them, so that's easier to query for them, basically.
That's really cool, because people are really excited about this stuff. It's I mean, I am, you know, and I know a lot of other people in the community are, and so it's so great to see people like you working on these things and actually bringing them to life. You know, like before it was just like the little cat, right, mooning. You know, oh, see how cat mooning, and now you guys actually have the real product and it's coming through, and so.
Yeah, we had the idea of a centralized exchange basically since the beginning. So it wasn't an afterthought, but we knew that because Babylon only launches a year after our own launch, so we need to do something about. And that's why we knew since the beginning in November or something like that we want to launch our own centralized DEX.
Yeah.
But we decided that we want to focus first on building up our community, because that is our most important asset in the end.
Yes.
And because in the end, liquidity and community is what matters.
Liquidity and community.
And community, I would say. Yes.
I agree. I mean, community is everything. I would argue that community is everything. I've been saying it for a long time to a lot of people. You can have the best product in the world, the best product in the entire world, but if no one uses it, who cares?
Yes, exactly.
No one cares. So, like, building the community was such an amazing thing. Lucas, I actually had him on the show.
Okay.
About
what? No,
2 months ago. He's amazing. We love Lucas. The community loves Lucas big time. You know. But
he's an awesome pick, and I'm really happy that he's on the team, because it's really what he thrives in, basically. And
yeah, it's good. He's fun to be around, and he likes doing it. And so, but community is everything, like everything. And speaking of one community, so just about how it can do well, like the Gnomes, right? Like the Gnome Society. Have you seen them? Their little NFT project.
Which one?
Gnomes. It's called Gnomes.
Yeah.
So they built this massive community, right?
Yeah,
they did a phenomenal job. They did an absolutely phenomenal job. Jordan, he's a good friend of mine too. He built this massive community, right? And he just went out and talked to everyone, got everyone so hyped about this project, right? And then and they sold out in like 12 hours on a pretty big project with like a decent amount of XRD. That was incredibly impressive. You know what I mean? And so that is one of the key things about how community is everything. It matters so much. And then, so you guys made the decision to build the community and then build the project. And I think that was a really good one. I think it was a great decision to make. You can do it the opposite way around, which you can, but but you have to have the people first. And so I think that's important. I think you guys did a really good job.
Yeah, that's what I would recommend everyone building or want to build a project, that they just should go out and start building the community, especially.
Yeah.
Because often you always you also get maybe interesting input, or people don't like what you're doing and say, okay, I don't like that, but why you're doing not that? But of course, also you need to follow and have your own vision, and not just changing course just because one or two people complaining about, because you can't make everyone happy. It's not going to happen, basically.
Yeah, that's not going to work. You can never make everyone happy. That is definitely true.
And that's also a very great advantage to have a working product out now,
Uh-huh.
because we learned a lot about how our interface should work and what users like, and we can experiment a lot with features and in user interface, and I think that makes it easier compared to if we would just have launched directly on Babylon, because now we have some user feedback, and that's very valuable. And it's also interesting to see how the discussions in the OCISwap chat changed over time. So we had more airdrop focused discussions in the beginning, and now because the project is out and people can use it, it's much more focused on OCISwap itself and the product, and not so much about
the community.
Where's the next airdrop or stuff like that. And
that's true. That is true. You know what I mean? You got to keep those.
So I'm really happy with the current community engagement, and shout out to the awesome OCISwap community at this place.
Yeah, absolutely. Huge shout out. I'm one of those members. I played what was the game?
Farbo.
Farbo goes, yeah, I love that little thing. The game is so cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you can integrate your wallet as your account, right? And then you can collect the coins, and then you get the OC airdrop afterwards. It was super cool. I had a blast. I hope that there's more development on that in the future. I heard that there might be some stuff, if that's true.
Yeah, they're currently having a pre-sale and launching Farbo on Radix, basically.
Wow, that's really cool.
They want to launch a multiplayer Farbo version, which is integrated into to the Radix ecosystem. So you have a wallet and directly earn tokens for playing it, and you can also have tournaments against other players, and there are different modes. So it's really cool. So I think one mode is Battle Royale. So I'm very
really,
yeah.
Have you told anyone that there's gonna be a Battle Royale for Farbo?
It is, yeah.
Oh, let's go! I'm super jazzed on that. That's cool as hell. I play Apex, and I used to play Fortnite a lot, right? So like very much Battle Royale. So that's gonna be really cool. Oh man, the people are gonna love that. That's gonna be fun as heck.
Yeah, they already sold 50% of their first pre-sale round.
Yeah,
and they now want to go into early development of that multiplayer game. So very.
So how does that? Where can you buy that? Where can you buy that? Or is that
on Farbo.me basically?
Farbo.me. Let me pull this up. I want to see it really quick. Farbo.me. Fabo.me. How do you spell it?
Farbo.
Farbo. I don't know. I'll find it. But we got to get that up because that sounds incredible. Oh, there it is. Farbo. Farbo.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. I love it, man. This thing's incredible. This is gonna be a really fun thing. Wow, holy crap. Sorry, a little sidetracked because I played that game. And so it was really exciting for me, and now you all are really putting this thing together. It's absolutely incredible. Oh man, this is really cool. It's funny because I'll tell you one thing, and not a lot of people know this. Like Buff Wild, we're developing a little game, right?
Yeah.
That you can play that's pay to earn, right? Play to earn. And so it's got crew coin integrated in it. It's not anything like this, but it's like we do have like a little game that we're kind of in the development of that should be released hopefully by the end of October. It's like a pixel art game. It's got a couple levels and stuff, but it's gonna be really fun. But it's super cool to hear about this. I'm like I don't think I've ever been more bullish on the Radix ecosystem. Let me just say that.
Yeah, I think it's awesome that already now we have so many different people and developers building on it. And I think one of the key aspects is that we have a lot of developers in the community since the beginning, because it's very technic focused, basically.
Technically.
Technical, yeah. It's very technical, the community, but this now helps with building the ecosystem, because if you are a developer, you can pick up crypto in a few days, basically, or a week. And when you can just play around and build your first smart contract, and maybe you find a co-founder who also likes the idea, and then the wheel gets started, basically. And that's how I think we will see many projects starting on Radix, because you don't need these massive VC funds to launch or pay millions for a smart contract.
Yeah.
But if you are an experienced developer, it's very manageable to pick up crypto in a few days or something like that. So
Wow.
it's not very complicated.
That's pretty cool. That's really cool.
And of course, still you need, or you should have, some audits if you want to go live and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited in which sense the developer funds of Radix will help to fund that, because I think this would be very effectively spent money, because they don't need to give out money for that. They just would pay for audits and pay the audits themselves. But if you are a good project with a good smart contract and a blueprint, you can get an audit basically for free, because they are not massively expensive, maybe a few $1,000 or something like that.
Sure.
So that would be nice to see, and I think something in that direction would happen, or will happen, because it's the most logical way to spend funds and also increase security of all the projects. Yeah.
Wow. Man, dude, that is cool. I am, honestly, God, speaking with you has been absolutely incredible. I need to talk to you more. I'm gonna start picking your brain every day. You know that,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, good.
I'm gonna be at Florian. Hey, Florian, what do you think about this?
Yeah.
Well, Tom, I'm building OCISwap, so leave me alone. But no, it's ridiculous. So, we're coming up at the end of our hour here, but
already.
I know, almost. It's been about 52 minutes, right? So,
good.
it's been incredible, but I do want to ask you one question.
Sure.
And this is what I ask everyone. If you could tell anyone one thing and leave one message to whoever is out there listening to this, what would it be?
It would be that if you are about to launch or develop a project in a crypto space, I would seriously recommend to check out Radix, to build on Radix, because it has a great technical advantage to build projects with in a much shorter time frame, and basically building with Radix or with crypto drastically reduces your risk for hacks and exploits, and it makes your time to market just much shorter. And on top of that, the Radix community isn't that big yet, but I think it is about to grow. And this makes it easier to promote your project inside the Radix community. Because if you now launch a project on Ethereum, it's very hard to get known and fight for your place in the ecosystem, basically. So that would be my recommendation. If you want to build something in the crypto space, check out Radix and don't regret it. Yeah.
I honest to God, you took the words right out of my mouth. That's beautiful, because I never thought about building a project ever. And then I found Radix and I was like, I think this is where it is to build something. And so I keep telling my friends, like, yo, you want to build a project, you should build it on Radix. It's
Yeah.
technically advanced. It is cheaper. It's easier to do. It's the future of Web3. It's the future of DeFi. I agree. I agree. Radix to the moon, yeah. OCISwap.
Yeah, it's just about the difference between crypto and Solidity is just like day and night, and it's very easy
Yeah.
to develop in crypto and very easy to pick up. So it's a no-brainer decision to basically use crypto instead of Solidity.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we are building on Radix, and I would even say that we wouldn't have built OCISwap on a layer one,
Mm-hmm.
because we wouldn't have the funding to implement all the smart contracts and pay for all the audits. And we have quite a vision for how OCISwap will look like and will behave.
Mm-hmm.
But we can only accomplish that in our current small team on Radix. So we couldn't build the same scope just on Solidity, because it would be massively more complex and also more risky and also more expensive, of course.
Yeah. Well, hey,
Yeah.
that's the name of the game.
That's my take on it.
Build on Radix, man. That's what's up.
Build on Radix.
Let's go. That's what it's all about. But Florian, honestly, this has been an absolute pleasure. Oh my God. Like I said, you just taught me so much. I'm like a kid in the candy store right now. I'm like, tell me more. You know what I mean? And so we got to have you back on the show sometime.
No problem.
Maybe towards Babylon. Let's do it. Once you're getting ready to launch up and get everything ready to go, we can get you on here. Maybe we can do you and Lucas together, and we can all sit down and chat. It would be fun. So everyone, thank you so much for joining us. A pleasure. Florian, Pieper, everyone, check out OCISwap. Let's go build on Radix. Here it is, Towards the Storm. Have a good day. Until next time. See ya.
Thank you very much, and see you soon again.